Interpreting the unit rate as slope. How do you interpret the unit rate as slope? We have to remember what a unit rate is. A unit rate can be denoted by miles per gallon, miles per hour, and slope, we look at a graph to show rise over run. So we're going to use those things together to find unit rates so that we can make comparisons of real-world data. So here we're going to look at wells, and we're going to look at well A in particular and show its pumping rate, how many barrels of oil it has over a period of time. Now, if we take a look at this point right here on the line, this is showing us 10 barrels of oil, and we've got to figure out what our time is. Well, since this is 10, that means that every single box is worth 2. So we're really looking at 10 barrels of oil for 4 hours of time. If we reduce this by a common factor of 2, we'll find out that there are 5 barrels of oil for every 2 hours. We're still not yet at a unit rate. What we have to do is take half of 5. And we get 2.5 divided by 1. Now, what does this mean? It means that every hour, 2.5 barrels of oil is pumped from well A. Now, we'll use this information to compare it to well B. Here at well B, we can see its pumping rate. We'll use this point right here, which shows 10 barrels of oil in 10 hours time. And we'll use the common factor of 10 to reduce it, and we find that that's a 1-to-1 relationship. Again, we have to ask what that means, and what it means is that for every hour, 1 barrel of oil is pumped out of well B. Now, if we do a comparison of well A to well B, we can see that well A produces more oil in an hour, so therefore that well is more productive. And if we had to make some decisions about what to do with wells, we're obviously going to keep the more productive well than the less productive well. Let's take a look at another situation. Here we have the following 3 people running a 10K race at a constant rate. And we can see with Cynthia, Jennifer, and Elaine, they're being showed in different ways, either as an equation, as a graph, or as a table. So we're going to take a look at these, and we're going to do a comparison. Now, we see everything's in kilometers and minutes here. So we're going to assume that that's going to be also our measurement here. So if we take this 1/9 and remember that we have rise over run, and we can see that the rise in our graph is kilometers. This is saying that in 1 kilometer, she's going to go 9 minutes. So 1 kilometer for 9 minutes. Now, that doesn't show a unit rate as we know it with the 1 in the denominator, but it still is telling us a fraction of 1. So we are going to take a look at that and see what we can come up with. Now here, on Jennifer's graph, we can see at 1, she is going to run 1 kilometer in 10 minutes. So 1 kilometer in 10 minutes. And then we take a look over here at Elaine on the table, and we can see that she's running 1 kilometer in 11 minutes. Now, based on this, we can tell who's going fast and who's going slow. We can tell Cynthia is running a lot faster than Jennifer and Elaine is definitely running the slowest of the 3. So we can tell who's probably going to win the race if they're going to keep this pace up. If they keep this pace up in a 10K race, Cynthia is going to be done in 9 times 10, or 90 minutes. Jennifer is going to be done in 100 minutes, and Elaine's going to be done in 110 minutes. So we can tell how the race is going to go just based on their unit rates. Now, maybe something a little more closer to home for you guys, I'm going to talk about hot dogs here for a second, and actually something that's really famous out there, Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest. I'm going to show you a quick little video.
It's a dog-eat-dog competition. The Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest is a 4th of July tradition going back 99 years. The challenge, who can wolf down the most franks and buns in 10 minutes. The competitors dip their hot dogs in water to make them go down faster. The rain made them extra soggy during the men's race. The women's race was won by rookie Mickey Suno from Las Vegas. She polished off 34 dogs and upset the 2-time champ. When's the next time you see a hot dog after this day? I love hot dogs, and I think I'm going to be taking a break from eating in general for about a day, then I'll be back to normal. The winner was the one and only Joey Joss Chestnut. He finished 61 francs and won $10,000, along with the coveted mustard belt for the 8th year in a row. The The speed eating machine, who makes upwards of $200,000 a year doing this, also got engaged to his personal chef and trainer before the race. This day has become that much more special to you, right?
Special's an understatement, and I'm feeling happy. It's a great day. I'm never gonna forget it.
The competitors ate hundreds of hot dogs and turned Independence Day into Indigestion Day. OM CBS News, Coney Island, Brooklyn.
That was fun, but now let's take a look at some historical data that deals with Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest. Here I have some different people who have won this contest. Jason Schechter, I think it's pronounced, in 1972 was the first person to do the hot dog eating contest. He went up there, and you can see his progression. In 4 minutes, in 1 minute, he ate 4 hot dogs, and so on. And he quit after 3.5 minutes, only eating 14 hot dogs. But since he was the first person to ever done it, he holds that record. It finally went international in 2001, and we have Takeru Kobayashi, who he ended up his average of 25 hot dogs in 6 minutes. And then we have Joey Chestnut, who you just saw this last summer in 2014, and his record. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a comparison of how many hot dogs they eat per minute. Now it's easy to see Jason's if we take an average of, he seems to be eating 4 a minute. So we're going to say that he eats 4 hot dogs every 1 minute. Now with Takeru's, the problem is that it's 25 over 6. So we're going to use a calculator to kind of reduce this a little bit and do 25 divided by 6. And we're going to get a really big number. But he's eating basically 4.167 hot dogs per minute. So 4.167 hot dogs per minute. And he's eating a little bit faster than Jason is in 1972. Now we have Joey Chestnut, who you just saw a moment ago, eat some hot dogs. So we'll see what kind of rates we can come up for him. Here we have, in 2 minutes, he's eaten 12 hot dogs. It's kind of hard to see what 1 minute's going to do, so let's kind of take a little bit on the graph here and say that 12 hot dogs in 2 minutes, well, that means he's basically eating 6 hot dogs a minute. And you can see that he's going to keep this pace. He keeps on going. He'll slow down a little bit as time goes on, but this is his, if he ate constantly, he would be eating 6 dogs every minute. And obviously that's what makes him a champion. So this kind of gives us an idea of how unit rates are seen and where we could pull them out and use them in real life. Hope this explains a little bit about unit rates and slopes.